From inside the Acres Broadcast Center, I'm Tim Mulhaupt, and this is your Sports Nightly Ticker. Scott Frost met with the media this morning to preview this Saturday's matchup with the Oklahoma Sooners. He was asked about the possibility of future high-profile games outside the Big Ten.
Everything's up in the air right now with all the rumors swirling about alliances and everything. I think scheduling is going to have to wait and see where some of those things lay.
Hear more from the Huskers coaching staff as Nebraska offensive coordinator Matt Lubick sits down with Greg Sharpe on the football radio show at the top of the hour right here on Huskers Radio Network. Elsewhere in college football, some game week intrigue and perhaps some added incentive in the battle for Indiana. Purdue takes on Notre Dame this Saturday in South Bend, but for the first time since 1979, the Boilermaker Marching Band will not be allowed to bring their famed big bass drum on the road as the instrument has been declared too large to fit in the visitors' tunnel. The Fighting Irish will not have it travel through their home tunnel. Adjust all weekly picks accordingly. Week 2 of the NFL gets underway tonight. The Giants will take on the Washington football team at 7:20 p.m. Central. And in baseball today, Angels manager Joe Madden announced that he does not anticipate superstar slugger Mike Trout returning in the 2021 season, and that two-way star Shohei Ohtani is unlikely to pitch again prior to the end of the year. Undaunted, the Angels then went on to beat the White Sox by a drubbing score of 9-3. The A's bested the Royals 7-2. The Reds shut out the Pirates by a score of 1-0. And in current action, the Padres lead the Giants 7-3 in the 8th. The Yankees are up on the Orioles 2-0 in the 5th. The Cubs and Phillies are scoreless in the 3rd. The Tigers and Rays will get underway at 6:10. The Astros and Rangers will battle in Texas at 7:05, and the Rockies and Braves were postponed due to poor field conditions. Those are the headlines, and I'm Tim Mulhaupt with your Sports Nightly Ticker.
Live inside Memorial Stadium, this is the Huskers Radio Network.
Rolling to the right side is DeMorat being pressured, throws downfield, passes intercepted, picked off by the Cornhuskers. It's Deontay Williams, second pick of the day, third turnover forced by the Blackshirts, and Nebraska will take over. 3rd and 5 from the 7. Pistol set, 2 wideouts left, lever to the near side. In motion is Toure, snap back, turn, run the option to the near side. Adrian pitches it back to Samore to the 5. He is in. Touchdown, Nebraska.
It's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who reminds you to buckle up and put the phone down. Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
Here we are. Thank you so much. Thursday night, Sports Nightly, 2 full hours coming your way, including our football show in hour number 2. Matt Lubick, Husker offensive coordinator, wide receivers coach, will be with us in hour number 2. Huskers 48 hours away from kicking it off with the Oklahoma Sooners. We got into this a little bit last time, but I certainly want to let people talk about some of their favorite OU Nebraska memories. We'd love to hear from folks tonight. If we haven't had a lot of chances this week with some volleyball games and that sort of thing, they really reminisce about this great rivalry. For a lot of you, a lot of fun memories, maybe some deflating memories with tough losses to the Sooners over the decades. So if you want to fire something at us, you certainly can do that either with a call or a text, 402-413-2400, or we are up and running on our YouTube stream, and the chat room is alive and well in there if you want to fire off an example of that as well. It means so much. I've seen so many stories today on social media. People are already road tripping down there. They've packed up the car. Off they go. So I think there's going to be a big, big turnout of Husker fans in Norman. Oh, yeah. And you and I both have been doing a lot of radio shows throughout the week, and I've been saying that I think there's going to be a lot of Husker fans that travel down for this one, and it seems like people are really excited, and Oklahoma fans also excited. I put out a tweet asking for, recommendations if Sooner fans had anything to add, and boy, they're trying to help out and giving suggestions and say, hey, go here, go here. I think for the most part, Oklahoma fans are going to be very welcoming and respectful and excited to have Nebraska fans come back in to Norman. Now, once the game kicks off, I can't make any promises, right, but I think before and after the game, they're going to be really excited. And I do know that they are going to honor the 70 and 71 teams in game, and so I think there'll be some cool things there, which, by the way, coming up, I believe at 7 o'clock on the Huskers Facebook Live, really cool show that's being done between Coach Osborne, Coach Switzer, going back to rewatch the game of the century, and they kind of give their takes on it. They got old game film, so it's going to be a must-see show there. That I think it's airing in Oklahoma and Bally Sports, but we've got it coming up on our Facebook Live. Those are the two faces of the programs, and yet neither guy was the head coach. in 71. They were both assistant coaches. They were both on the staff, but they weren't the head coaches in 71, but they certainly were. And Tom Osborne has said that when Barry moved on and went to the NFL, that the rivalry wasn't the same after. Barry made that a lot because he was this swashbuckler and just a great character. And so he was a huge part of why I think why the rivalry got so much attention nationwide was because of his personality.
You know what also is amazing to me is how they both can recall so many details about, games and players and throughout their entire tenure. I mean, Barry Switzer's memory is unbelievable, and just the few times I've talked to Tom Osborne, the way he can recall details as well is really impressive, how well they can recall those memories. You
can throw him a player's name from 40 years ago, and he'll go, oh, yeah, he's still doing it. And he keeps in touch with so many coaches. Just a remarkable man, as everyone would know. All right, Scott Frost did have a short press conference today. His Thursday ones are usually very short. We'll play you some clips of that here in a little bit. Also, Jessica, for her Cornhusker conversation for Saturday's pregame show, had a chance to talk to Samori Toure. He's become one of my favorite guys on this team. I can't wait to hear this.
He's a great interview and kind of talked about his background, his story leading up to even just before going to Montana. He was a guy that he wasn't even on the varsity team in high school. And when he was a sophomore, had a couple of guys get in trouble. One guy left the team, and so he had to kind of lock in and become the guy, and then didn't have any offers. And so had to go to Montana on a half scholarship, and then, of course, takes the FCS by storm. And then I think it's very telling, and we've heard the coaches talk about this, the way that when they called Montana gave him glowing reviews. That's not always the case when guys hit the transfer portal.
Right.
A lot of times you can't call those coaches because they're not going to give you much good things to say. And so the fact that Montana was so complimentary of Samori and what an addition he would be, I think speaks volumes about what kind of kid he is, but also what kind of player he is.
And his Grizz go out and beat Washington week one without him. That was a great win.
And people Nebraska fans were like cheering, and he was like, I love the Nebraska fans are cheering for Montana. It warms my heart.
That's fantastic. All right, phone lines open for you, 402-413-2400. Let's start first in Lincoln. Scott, you're out of the game.
Well, just two quick memories. I was first introduced to the Oklahoma-Nebraska rivalry back in 1978. My parents went to the game, and I was at home listening to Lyle Bremser. And I'll never forget it because it was just, thrilling. But I had no idea, what kind of big deal that really was until the whole thing was over. And it was thrilling, and I still remember it to this day. Of course, the next week I went to the game, we lost, but that's beside the point. But then the second one was when Bob Devaney had his show on TV, and Barry Switzer walked in, and we were either going to go to the Sun Bowl, I believe, or the Orange Bowl. Barry Switzer walked in with, unrehearsed, of course, with a bag of tacos for Bob Devaney, and said, well, when you lose, Coach, Coach Osborne was the coach then, but Devaney was the athletic director. He said, when you lose, why, you'll enjoy these tacos down in El Paso. So it was good humored, and it showed kind of the other side of maybe what people thought of probably Barry Switzer, but it showed that it was a fun rivalry too at the same time. So I'll let you guys talk about it, and have a great night.
Thanks, Scott. Appreciate the call. Yeah, the 78 game's a favorite of a lot of Huskers. Billy Sims fumbled 4 times, which was really rare. He was a terrific player, and that was Coach Osborne's first win as head coach against OU, and then they had to turn around and play him in the Orange Bowl later on. And, yeah, the taco scene is classic when Barry walks onto the set. Live on tape was when that took place. Back to the phone. Let's go to Ben in Des Moines. Good evening, Ben. Welcome to Sports Nightly.
Hey, guys. First of all, thank you for doing what you do. It's really entertaining, and I always appreciate it on my ride home from work. I only have one memory, and it's going to take just a little bit. I won't drag too long, but it was the 2009 game, and something told me that I just had to be there. So me and my mom, we couldn't afford tickets. So we're like, let's just go there and tailgate and just walk around, enjoy the atmosphere, because neither one of us had never been to a game. So we go there, and the atmosphere is just amazing. I don't even know where we tailgated. We just tailgated out of the back of a little Toyota Echo, just had some sandwiches, and we walked around. We saw the Heisman room. We saw all the trophies. It was just amazing. We walked around. We saw everybody. And so it gets on a little later, and understand it's November, so it's getting cold. And I'm like, well, let's watch the game from the practice field. So we're sitting in the grass, and we had used almost all of our money. We had like $30 left. And so we ended up, we were sitting on the grass, and we hear the tunnel walk, and everyone's cheering, and then we got sad. So we're like, all right, well, let's just walk around. Maybe we'll go to a bar and watch the game because it'd be a little warmer. So we run into this scalper, and he goes, hey, you guys want some tickets? I was like, how much? Like $60. Like, oh, we only have 30. He gives me like a slide eye look, sticks up the 2 tickets, and just hands it to us. And we were just blown away. So we run. I don't know what side of the stadium we were on, but it was the one where the guy missed, the Oklahoma kicker missed most of his kicks. And so that stadium, again, remember, I had never been to a game before, neither had my mom. So, and I was in my 30s, and she was in her 50s. And it was so loud. And Sue was there, so everyone was yelling Sue. It was so incredibly loud. And I ended up finding out later that was one of the games that I guess are on record as being one of the loudest ones throughout the entire game. But, yeah, it was definitely a show, Amukamara's interception, Sue. Oh, man, it was great. It is something I will literally remember for the rest of my life. I mean, the only thing that topped it was about 10 years later when I took all my kids to the spring game. And they got to see that for the first time. But, man, that first OU game was great. Oh, it was just a wonderful experience. And
Great.
I've always been happy about that. So,
Ben, thank you. Appreciate you sharing that. I called that game. It was a November night game. Sue was great. Matt O'Hanlon had a couple of interceptions. Landry Jones had a bad night for Oklahoma. It was a
5 interceptions, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a good win for Nebraska. That was that Husker team that came within 1 second of winning the league, and Texas got the extra second, kicked the field goal. That was a special game, and I'm glad you got to do it. Jessica, before they ripped up all this, that's where soccer played, and there was a big screen out there, and people would stand out there and watch the games because they would put the game on that big screen.
That's cool, and you could still hear the reaction
hear the
and
roar
stuff.
of the crowd, and you don't have a ticket. You can sit, and a lot of people would. They'd sit out there and watch the game. So let's head back to the phones. Let's go to Jason in Lexington. Good evening, Jason.
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Hey, one of my favorite memories of OU-NU is the first Husker game I ever been to. I think it was 86 when Nebraska was dressed in all red.
Yep.
Yeah, that was I was there with my stepdad and my brother. They were wearing OU or NU stuff. I was wearing OU stuff. And because I don't know. I was born and raised up in Nebraska, and I guess what I'm getting at is, it was unbelievable, and I haven't been back to a game since. And I'm going to take a jab at somebody right now. When they meant for Steve Taylor not being able to complete a pass or a pitch, Nebraska would have won that game.
I'll have to mention that to Steve next time I see him, that he got jabbed on the air. Appreciate it, Jason. Thanks for the phone call. The All Reds, I don't know. I'm not sure I'm a big fan of that. I think that's the one time Nebraska ever did that, was that game in '86. I'm not a fan of that. All whites, yes. All Reds, I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the red either.
Yeah. Too much.
Yeah.
Too much of one thing. Yeah, fun stuff, everybody. I'm loving hearing the stories from all you folks here tonight. Buckle up, put that phone down. It's a reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. Brian in York said a lot of people don't talk about the '88 game, but that was the favorite for me because we beat Barry in Norman. It was his last game against us. Barry then, stepped aside. That is, I don't remember much of the '88 game, to be honest with you. So, Brian, if you want to call in and fill me in on some details of that, I don't remember a lot about the '88 game. So I love hearing people tell, and it means something to them. It's a marker in their life. They can think about what they were doing, what they were like as a person at that time in their life.
Yeah, and it's the same thing on the other side as well. Of course, growing up in Oklahoma, my dad was an Oklahoma fan, and people remember the same thing on the other side too. They can recall special memories like that as well. And a lot of people saying that, some of the times that Nebraska went to the stadium in Oklahoma, that it was the loudest that stadium's ever been too. So again, there's so many stories and memories from both of these fan bases that I think are going to be so special for everybody to see these teams come back together on Saturday. And I've been saying this all week, and for these players that might not truly understand the magnitude, they're going to understand it come kickoff, because it is going to be loud, 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 and not just because of Oklahoma fans, because like we said at the top of the show, there's going to be a lot of Nebraska fans down in Norman as well.
No doubt. Keep them coming. 402-413-2400. Valentino's Pizza, Poster, and Pepsi. It's back. Get 2 jumbo one-topping pizzas for $17.99 each. And a free Husker schedule poster. Add a 2-liter bottle of Pepsi for just $1.99. Valentino's, the official pizza of the Huskers, the way pizza should be. More of the show coming up next.
A DUI is everything you didn't prepare for. You did not save for it. You did not train for it. You did not go to school for it. You did not raise your family or buy a house or get a job for it. It is not your life goal or a dream come true. You have planned for everything in your life. You did not plan for a DUI. Get a ride. A DUI costs more than you think.
Brought to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Double espresso for Matt, large ice mocha for Greg, $2,022 for Katie. Oh, oops.
Everybody's mind is on the Nebraska Lottery's Powerball's Rockin' 15 promotion. Until September 25th, buy a Powerball with Power Play ticket and enter for a chance to be one of 15 to win $2,022 and a chance to win $1 million.
Sorry for the mix-up, Katie. Here's your latte.
Forget the coffee. Where's my $2,022?
Powerball top prize odds 1 in 292 million.
If you're driven by an adventurous heart, you're in luck. The 2021 Subaru Outback shares your spirit. It will take you as far as you want to explore with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive. It'll get you off the beaten path with 8.7 inches of ground clearance, more than Toyota RAV4 or Honda Passport. It's the best Outback ever. The 2021 Subaru Outback. Go where love takes you. Comparison based on competitor information from manufacturer websites as of July 2020. Visit Detos Subaru at 27th Street and Jamie Lane in Lincoln or DetosSubaru.com.
It's football season. Husker Nation and Famous Dave's is here to make your tailgate, house party, or get-together famous. Award-winning and house-smoked St. Louis-style ribs, Texas beef brisket, Georgia chopped pork, and house-made sides like our Wilbur beans, creamy coleslaw, and Dave's cheesy mac and cheese will surely tackle any barbecue craving. Visit FamousDaves.com for all your catering and online ordering needs, or come visit us at our locations in Lincoln and Bellevue.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it is safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief, nutrition, or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health. Find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.com. Get your life back with chiropractic.
While some seed companies put a greater stake in stock prices and anonymous shareholders, Rob Seco knows that what's important to you hits closer to home. That's why you'll find we're focused on your needs. With a simplicity that makes us easy to do business with, a relationship that makes it easy to connect with anyone in the company, and the technology, traits, and genetics you need from any source. Put your stock in the company that puts you first. Rob Seco.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
You trained for this all year. Endless hours of cardio, conditioning, and weights. And now you are ready. Ready to trek back to your seat from the concession stand. Through the lines, lost fans, and that mascot who wants you to do a little dancey dance, all without spilling a drop of your ice-cold Bud Light. Welcome back to football, sports fans.
Celebrating 50 years in the commercial real estate development industry in Omaha and nationwide, Noddle Companies is proud to continue its tradition of supporting Husker athletics. Check out what's new in Omaha, which includes revolving recreation and the food hall at Zone 6 in Exarban Village. Another exciting project coming soon are the Blackstone Urban Row townhomes. Noddle Companies, creating long-term value through community development. For more information, visit noddlecompanies.com. Go Big Red.
Woohoo! Business Technology 1, network downtime 0. Being a game-winning IT network takes hard work and an experienced technology coach. That's why our game plan includes Marco. Marco helps our entire business infrastructure perform better and score big day in and day out. With Marco's veteran experience guiding our team, every season is a winning season. Find out what your technology could be saying at marconet.com.
Addie's Sports Bar and Grill is the place to watch Nebraska games this season. Locally owned and operated, Addie's is Omaha's premier sports bar with 4 locations in Elkhorn, Maple Street, Millard, and the new flagship Capitol location in downtown Omaha. If it's Husker game day, it's on at Addie's. Addie's Sports Bar and Grill is Omaha's official watch party spot with game day giveaways, prizes, fun, and more surprises later in the season. Addie's Sports Bar and Grill. See you there for the game.
It's Game On at Sid Dillon Buick GMC Cadillac in Fremont, featuring our winning combination of Buick SUVs and GMC trucks and SUVs. And as a GMC Business Elite dealer, we offer commercial vehicles for your business needs. For the convenient and easy way to shop for your next vehicle, just visit our Fremont location or check out our full inventory at SidDillonBuickGMC.com.
You are what drives us, Sid Dillon.
We are professional grade.
Hey, Husker fans, if you're looking for an exciting new career as part of your pandemic recovery, Iowa has over 75,000 job openings in industries such as healthcare, advanced manufacturing, construction, IT, and ag. IowaWorks.gov has more information about job openings, earn while you learn apprenticeships, and exciting training and scholarship opportunities. Find your next great job in Iowa. They've got a solid game plan, a bright future, and want you on their team. www.iowaworks.gov.
We're back inside of our Acres Equipment Broadcast Center, Nebraska's premier John Deere dealer with 27 locations across Nebraska and into Kansas. Acres Solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you here on a Thursday night.
You got the phone lines lit up.
Yeah, I knew it would. Brian in York had texted in about, we don't talk enough about the 88 game. Now he has called in. So, Brian, talk more about the 88 game with me. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Come on. Okay. Yeah, the 88 game. That was down in Norman, and it was a very rainy, cold day, about 38 degrees. Miserable playing conditions, and we scored on our opening drive to take a 7-0 lead, and then Oklahoma got a field goal in the middle of the third quarter to make it a 7-3 ball game, and that was the final score. And quite frankly, I think we would have shut them out that day on their home field if we hadn't a fumble deep in our own territory to give them a chance at that field goal. And I remember reading in the Omaha paper the next day, Charlie McBride and George Darlington were saying how they went to a different defensive front for this game, and it gave Oklahoma fits. They had no way to combat it. I think, quite frankly, in my opinion, it was the best Osborne ever defended the wishbone. And then at the end of the game, we sacked Charles Thompson, their quarterback, and he broke his leg on that final play. So I guess you could literally say we broke the bone that day, figuratively and literally.
Now that you mentioned the rain, I do now have flashbacks of that game a little bit. But, yeah, Brian, thank you. Appreciate you filling me in. I just couldn't remember much about that game. Let's go out to the Panhandle. Brad in Scotts Bluff. Good evening, Brad. Welcome to Sports Nightly.
Thanks for your program this evening. This is fun.
Great.
I was a senior in college in 1978, sitting in the south end zone. I was on the east side, but over on the west side, there was a fumble on about the 3-yard line with probably the best college football player I ever personally watched, and that was Billy Sims. Fumbled, and we got the ball, and we tore the goalpost down, and we had more fun that night than I can remember.
Billy had a tough day. He had the thumbsies that day.
Yes, he did. Well, unfortunately, we had to play Missouri the next week, but
they beat us.
After the Oklahoma game that night, we called down to Miami and made reservations to go to the Orange Bowl, and had to play the Sooners again down there. But the other memory I have of that evening was in the middle of the night, I came out of an establishment in downtown Lincoln and looked up, and there went the goalposts right in front of me.
I love it.
They were being paraded up and down O Street.
That's incredible.
Brad, thank you. Appreciate the phone call. I haven't seen goalposts carried around for a while. It's been a while for that.
Aren't they? Now they're like nailed in or screwed in where you can't take them out.
They're dangerous if those things come down. They could hurt somebody. Let's go to Raymond. Rick, you're up next on Sports Alley. Good evening.
How you doing?
Great.
Hey, my memory, and I'm terrible with years and coaches, and I know Eric Crouch. We went down to Norman without tickets. Nebraska was one. Game day was down there. Nebraska was one. Oklahoma was two, or vice versa. We get down there. We tailgate. You know, we got our hands in the air for 4 tickets. I buy tickets for $150 a piece. So we spent $600. We get in there with the great seats, and they're fake tickets. And there was so many people coming to the same area we were at, and the Oklahoma fans that were in those seats were trying to scoot down and accommodate us, which was great. But anyways, we ended up going to I believe it was the south end zone where most of the Husker fans were, and you could see College game day. And then Nebraska started off 14-0, and then the wheels fell off, and Oklahoma couldn't do anything wrong. Everything went right for them. It was crazy.
That was the 2000 game that you're referencing there, and you're right. Good start, bad finish that day for the Big Red.
Yeah, and Bob Stoops has talked about how important that game was to kind of launching what he did at
They won the
OU.
national title. That
Yeah,
team did.
and the players of that year will talk about that 14-0 lead that Nebraska jumped out to, because Nebraska, I think the couple years before that just gave it to them, like beat them really bad, beat the brakes off of them, and so they were pretty intimidated at first, and then they kind of settled down. But yeah, that win was huge. Bob Stoops will talk about it, how that's one of the monumental wins in his entire career at Oklahoma.
I'll tell you what, the mood of the fans changed. They were very nice at the beginning, but then when they started putting the thumping on us, yeah, it flipped. They were getting us the hell out of there. But I tell you, there was one pass play. We were covering it very well. The receiver fell down for Oklahoma, and it landed right in his breadbasket. It was terrible. Nothing went right for us that day. But you guys are doing a great job.
Rick, appreciate it. Thanks for the phone call. Let's go from Raymond to Dawson. Let's go to Dawson next. Matt, you're up here on Sports Alley.
Yes, sir. Good to hear from you.
Thanks for calling.
My first memory of the OU rival, my dad went to town and bought a brand new color television set so we could watch it, the game of the century in color.
Wow.
And I have been a diehard Husker fan ever since.
71 was about the time color TVs were really starting to become popular, right? I mean, it had been black and white pretty much up until then.
Yeah, I was 5 years old, and Jeff Kinney was the stud. I mean, he was my hero from then on in my childhood.
Very
That's
good.
awesome.
Matt, appreciate it. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah, that torn jersey Kenny had in that game in 71. One more before we go to a break. Let's go to Holdridge. John, you're up next here on Sports Alley. Good evening.
Yeah, I was in the 88 game, and it was cold. It was like 35 degrees and snowing and everything. But Steve Taylor's the quarterback, and we did break the leg of their quarterback, Charles Thompson, I believe. But we took a script from the Miami game on the defense, where Miami beat them earlier in the year. And I remember Barry Switzer's his last game against Nebraska saying that if they told him before the game that they were going to hold Nebraska to 7 or 10 points, whatever they did, they figure it was a big blowout as opposed to getting beat 7-3 or 10-3.
Very good. Appreciate it. Thanks for John. Thank you for jumping in on that 88 game. Steve Taylor, good friend. I saw Steve at the Hall of Fame banquet last week. He was there supporting one of his old teammates, Doug DeBose, who went into the Hall of Fame last week. Steve had a heck of a career here at Nebraska. Nebraska 811 says, go dig red. Before you dig, always call or click 811 to have your utility lines marked. It's free. It's easy. It's the law. When we come back, we're going to hear from Samori Toure, the Husker wideout, who's Jessica's Cornhusker conversation for Saturday. We'll let you hear a snippet of that coming up next.
Shop with confidence at Woodhouse Ford. Take advantage of our current offers and vast inventory selection with features you want at a smart price. Schedule a test drive today or shop online with our streamlined sales process. We make it easy to shop, finance, and purchase in person or online at woodhouseford.com. Choose your experience and find your next vehicle at Woodhouse Ford in Blair, Omaha, or Plattsmouth.
Valley 365 is here, and the time is now to take your farming technology full circle. Valley 365 is the ultimate command center, the new single sign-on platform that brings together our tried and true technology and streamlines your entire operation. Combining the best features of AgSense, Valley Scheduling, Valley VRI, and Valley Insights, Valley 365 is the next level solution for connected crop management. Leverage your data, make the most of your time, and own your tomorrow. Contact your Valley dealer today.
There is no place like Nebraska, and there's no place that treats you like home like Sap Brothers. For 50 years, Sap Brothers has fueled America's heartland and been a reliable partner to local farms and Husker fans across Nebraska. Providing the highest quality fuel, lubricants, and propane, servicing your farming equipment, and welcoming guests into their travel centers. Visit www.sapbros.net. Sap Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Husker Athletics.
Whether you compete on the court, at the track, on the field, or in the fields, winning isn't just a goal. It's a mindset, shaped, honed, and defined throughout the season. That's why farmers pushing themselves to be the best plant DeKalb brand corn. Wherever you compete, winning has roots. Perform at your best with DeKalb. Always read and follow grain marketing and all other stewardship practices and pesticide label directions.
Celebrating 50 years in the commercial real estate development industry in Omaha and nationwide, Noddle Companies is proud to continue its tradition of supporting Husker athletics. Check out what's new in Omaha, which includes revolving recreation and the food hall at Zone 6 in Exarban Village. Another exciting project coming soon are the Blackstone Urban Row townhomes. Noddle Companies, creating long-term value through community development. For more information, visit noddlecompanies.com. Go Big Red.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm journalism student Grace Fitzgibbon with Campus News. The Rural Fellows Program doubled their average number of participating students this year, putting UNL student interns to work in 17 Nebraska communities for the summer. Interns use their skills to get real-world experience on a variety of projects, from mapping out trail systems to creating promotional videos to researching and documenting local history.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
From sprains and stitches to sore throats and sinus infections. When it's care that can't wait, count on CHI Health Clinic Priority Care. Simply walk in 7 days a week from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. You'll get the quality care you need without an appointment, and you'll never pay more than a regular primary care visit. Get in, get out, and get on with your day. Find a location near you at chihealth.com/prioritycare.
Did you know that cigarette butts make up a large portion of microplastics in the ocean, which end up in 70% of seabirds and 30% of sea turtles? Bank of the West is helping to solve this problem by not financing big tobacco, proving that what a bank chooses not to finance can be just as important as what it does. Learn more about what we do and don't finance at bankofthewest.com/change. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Shop Woodhouse Chevy Buick in Missouri Valley, Iowa, and experience the Woodhouse difference, where our sales staff is here, ready to help you find your perfect new car, truck, or SUV. And with over 100 new vehicles on our lot with more arriving daily, we're sure to have something for you. From the Buick Encore to our heavy-duty trucks, we have the best selection available. Find new roads and shop all of our inventory and offers at WoodhouseChevy.com or visit us at our dealership for a test drive today, making car buying easier. This is Woodhouse.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
If you're driven by an adventurous heart, you're in luck. The 2021 Subaru Outback shares your spirit. It will take you as far as you want to explore with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive. It'll get you off the beaten path with 8.7 inches of ground clearance, more than Toyota RAV4 or Honda Passport. It's the best Outback ever. The 2021 Subaru Outback. Go where love takes you. Comparison based on competitor information from manufacturer websites as of July 2020. Visit DeTost Subaru at 27th Street and Jamie Lane in Lincoln or DeTostSubaru.com. Addie's Sports Bar and Grill is the place to watch Nebraska games this season. Locally owned and operated, Addie's is Omaha's premier sports bar with 4 locations in Elkhorn, Maple Street, Millard, and the new flagship Capitol location in downtown Omaha. If it's Husker game day, it's on at Addie's. Addie's Sports Bar and Grill is Omaha's official watch party spot with game day giveaways, prizes, fun, and more surprises later in the season. Addie's Sports Bar and Grill. See you there for the game.
You can win a 2021 Ford F-150 XL four-wheel drive Super Crew truck from Woodhouse this season if the Huskers return the first or second half opening kickoff for a touchdown. Woodhouse is going to give away an F-150. New contestants are going to be chosen each week. For details on how to enter the Woodhouse Auto Family Kickoff Contest and the rules, go to huskers.com/Woodhouse. And our winner this week is Kirk Summers from Lincoln. Congratulations, Kirk. Good luck. We'll be pulling for you here on Saturday. A couple more remembrances on our text line. Michael said the Mike stunts to Eric Crouch in 01. That throwback, that trick play, yeah, that was fantastic, and it was a month after that emotional game with Rice after 9/11. So that was a really special time for Husker football. And also from the text line, that 86 game in Lincoln, the stadium was so loud until Keith Jackson caught a pass to set up the winning field goal. And Jackson caught that pass. It was like someone turned the volume of the stadium down to 0. Yeah, I bet that was pretty eerie. Well, one guy who has been turning some volume up lately is Samori Toure, who's just had a tremendous start to his Husker career. I'm a big, big fan of this guy.
Yeah, me too, and I think Husker fans really like him too. And gosh, just what a journey to get to where he is now. And I think he could have a big day on Saturday. Oklahoma's got some guys out in the secondary, and you can tell the connection between Samori and Adrian Martinez. And I just kind of started, about a 17-minute conversation. This is a shortened version. You can hear the full one coming up tomorrow. But just how excited he is for this opportunity to play Oklahoma.
I'm beyond excited. Games like this are the reason why I came to Nebraska, to play against the best of the best. And we have an opportunity to do that this week.
Just the chance to go on the road. I know you've heard that you kind of like that mentality, the us against the world, and having to embrace that. You've liked playing at home, but what is it about kind of going on the road and in that hostile environment that you have enjoyed playing in?
Yeah, I think it's something that just brings your team closer together, knowing it's like I said, us against the world. And it's funny because I got a little bit of slack for that from Nebraska fans because they're saying, hey, we travel well too. And they showed that against Illinois. So I'm excited to go in there, with my team, coaches, and the fans and play our best on Saturday.
So let's talk about you in the first 3 weeks into it. It had been 2 years since you played in a game. How do you feel kind of now 3 weeks into it? Do you feel like you're back to your old self?
Yeah, definitely. I definitely feel comfortable. And I wouldn't even say it took too long to, get back to that. Illinois game, a little bit, just getting started off, it just felt weird, just because, like you said, it's been so long. But, now I feel like I'm back in my groove, and I feel like our team is starting to hit our stride a little bit.
I was listening to your conversation with Adrian on his podcast and how, your recruiting process in high school. And can you take me back to just in high school and kind of what that process was like? You didn't make the varsity team, right? And just kind of how that kind of set up for you.
Yeah, I was really under-recruited, in high school. Playing in Oregon, that's not one of the top states that recruiters look to and say, oh, they got some guys out there, But we do have a lot of good talent out there. And, like I said, when I was a sophomore, didn't really play too much. I was on JV, but then an opportunity came my way where some guys left the program, and it was basically next man up. And I took full advantage of it. My junior year, had a good season, and I told myself, I'm going to take this seriously. So in that off season, went to some camps, played some 7-on-7, and started really working on my craft, and it paid off my senior year.
So in high school, I mean, it's got to be frustrating at that point when you're having the senior year that you're having, and you're not kind of having the looks that you're getting. What was kind of like that like for you going through emotionally?
Yeah, it was really frustrating, and I think it's something that a lot of kids across the country can relate to because, it's a lot of guys that aren't being recruited as they feel they should be. And like you said, it is a little disappointing, but you can't let it kind of hurt you or let you, stop trying to make it to the D1 level. Because your opportunity will come at some point, and whether it's D1, D2, or even JUCO, playing football after high school is a privilege.
So let's fast forward now. You decide to come here and enter the transfer portal. Coaches here have said that when they called the people at Montana, they all spoke highly about you, and that's not always the case that can be done when guys enter the transfer portal. They can't always call those colleges. So what do you think that says about you and the relationship you were able to build with that program, that they were willing to kind of give you a full support to come here?
Yeah, I think it said a lot, I've always, been a team first guy and always tried to go about things the right way. And it was good to see that pay off, like you said, when the coaches, not even just in Nebraska, but coaches at other school would call my coaches at Montana. I'll think about it like, well, thank God that, I did everything the right way, or else I probably wouldn't be here right now. If the coaches at Montana would have gave a bad review, I don't know if I would be here.
So take us through, you're going through the transfer portal, you got some schools you're talking to. What was it about Nebraska that you felt like this was going to be the fit for you?
I would say it was the coaches first and foremost. Having conversations with Coach Frost and Coach Lubick, they just felt really natural. And the most important thing was that they were straightforward. Because with recruiting, there's a lot of coaches who are going to beat around the bush and maybe not be completely honest with you, but I could tell that they were honest and straightforward from the get-go, saying, look, we're not bringing you in here to sit on the bench. We're bringing you in here to help us win games and score touchdowns. And that was music to my ears, obviously, so I thought it would be a great fit.
What has it meant to you that you have been so well-respected and you've earned kind of the trust of Adrian and just this entire locker room so quickly? What has that meant to you personally that you have been able to come in here and do what you kind of set out to do?
Yeah, it means a lot to me, and it also tells me that I made the right decision, when I came here. It was a decision of faith, just going off a few phone calls. I'd never taken a visit out here, never been to Nebraska before, but just it kind of shows that I had the right mindset, with my gut feeling, and it feels rewarding to know that I made the right decision.
You've been in the end zone several times throughout your life, but how did the first one feel in that Husker uniform?
It felt amazing. My first touchdown, I got really excited. And Coach Lubick always has this thing that he says, when we're watching the film, like, did you act like you've been there before? You give the ball to the ref, you act like you've been there before. And I was like, yeah, Coach, I've been in the end zone before, but not a Memorial, so it was definitely really exciting, to get the crowd up on their feet.
So you're saying you didn't act like you'd been there before?
Yeah, no, I didn't. I was willing to admit that, but it was my first touchdown at Memorial, so I'll give that to myself.
You heard him talking earlier about how much, when he was first doing interviews, he likes kind of playing on the road, and then some Nebraska fans gave him a little bit of a hard time. Hey, we travel well, too. And then he played his first game here. He's like, okay, it's pretty cool playing here. But you can tell, he's already a fan favorite. People love him.
Good player, too. He's got a chance to play NFL football. He's that good a player, and hope he has a big game.
You'll have to ask Coach Lubick about that.
I will. Yeah, I will ask that next hour. Dorothy Lynch, home style and light and lean dressing. Endless flavorabilities. Again, you can catch the entire interview with Samore during Husker game day on Saturday morning. All right, phone lines open if you want to still share some OU Nebraska memories with us. 402-413-2400. Call or text. Back with our final segment of Hour 1 next.
Stay up to date with the most current and latest news by following the Huskers on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and more. These social media homes provide the fastest daily updates on everything surrounding Nebraska athletics, including game times, results, ticket promotions, prize giveaways, and more. Log on to also follow several sport-specific pages and Husker head coaches. Join today and interact with thousands of Husker fans around the world. Visit huskers.com/social media to see all of our accounts.
Walk these fields for 85 years. Grow deeper roots here. Know what thrives here. Bring in world-class genetics and innovative traits like Chrome triple stack corn hybrids and Enlist E3 soybeans. Refine it through pure local know-how and expertise. Do all of that, and the only thing left is the right seed. Hogemeyer. Learn more at therightseed.com.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm journalism student Grace Fitzgibbon with Campus News. UNL has been named one of the best schools for veterans for the 5th year in a row. The ranking on the Military Times Best for Vets survey reflects the hard work of Nebraska's Military and Veteran Success Center, serving military dependents, veterans, National Guard members, active duty troops, and many Husker students in the reserves.
From vintage sneakers to bacon-scented soap to water fountains for your pet, all can be had with a few simple clicks. Problem is, you never really know what you're going to get until they show up at your door. Introducing Ford Blue Advantage. It's used car buying that's built for you. Not only can you shop for used vehicles online, in person, or both, you can also test drive before you buy, so you know exactly what you're getting. Plus, get history reports, vehicle inspections, Ford warranties, and the expertise of factory-trained techs. Visit FordBlueAdvantage.com today.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Celebrating 50 years in the commercial real estate development industry in Omaha and nationwide, Noddle Companies is proud to continue its tradition of supporting Husker athletics. Check out what's new in Omaha, which includes revolving recreation and the food hall at Zone 6 in Exarban Village. Another exciting project coming soon are the Blackstone Urban Row townhomes. Noddle Companies, creating long-term value through community development. For more information, visit noddlecompanies.com. Go Big Red.
Score a game-winning drive when you buy your next vehicle at Sid Dillon Chevrolet. As a Chevrolet Business Elite dealer, we offer commercial vehicles, including medium-duty trucks and low-cab forwards. Whatever vehicle fits your needs, we're here to make the purchase process easy. Visit our Chevy locations in Blair, Crete, Fremont, or Wahoo. Plus, shop our full inventory at SidDillonChevy.com.
You are what drives us, Sid Dillon.
Chevy, find new roads.
We're back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, brought to you by Acres Equipment, Nebraska's premier John Deere dealer. With 27 locations across Nebraska and into Kansas, Acres solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you here on a Thursday night. Our football show coming up in the second hour with offensive coordinator, wide receivers coach Matt Lubick. Let's go back to the phones. Let's go down to Texas, Denton, Texas. Charlie, you're up on Sports Island. Good evening.
Yes. Well, first of all, thank you for taking my call. I was 11 years old when I watched the 1991 Nebraska-Oklahoma matchup in Lincoln. Just the year before, we had just gotten shredded by Oklahoma and Cale Gundy, 45-10. And so it was just, in that 1991 game, we were down 14-3 at halftime. And I don't know if there's ever been a game where we just were a completely different team the second half. We shut Oklahoma down. We ended up winning the game 19-14. And I think that's, number one, it just stood out to me because, Keithan McCann was one of my favorite early quarterbacks when I just got into Husker football. And we beat Oklahoma. We're going to the Big Eight, to the Orange Bowl with that victory, and it just was a very special moment. And I just loved how we just, again, we're a completely different team in that second half, and thinking about it now, that very well may have been one of the loudest Memorial Stadium had ever been. Just chanting defense, defense, and throwing the oranges at the end of the game, and And also I will add, loved Ken Pavelka calling the games, and he just is going crazy when Cale Gundy throws that last incomplete pass on 4th down for Oklahoma, and it seals the victory for us. So just an incredible memory that I'll always remember.
Charlie, was that the rainy kind of icy game in '91?
Yes, rainy and icy, and absolutely,
Yep, I remember it. Charlie, thank you. Appreciate calling from all the way down in Texas. Let's bring it back close to home. Head right up the road to Ashland. Don, you're up next on Sports Nightly.
Yes, I attended my first game on Halloween in 1959.
Wow.
I got in for 50 cents in the knothole section.
Good for you. Oklahoma was awfully good right then. The Huskers pulled the upset that day, didn't they?
Yeah. Ron Mead, who was the kicker and also a defensive back. Of course, at that time, they had the limited substitution. Intercepted a pass in the end zone thrown by the Oklahoma quarterback Bobby Boyd. And they ran out the clock from there. But it was quite the game. And I guess there was probably only about 25,000 people in the stadium at the time. So
Good bringing up the knothole section. Love hearing that, Don. And, yeah, Oklahoma had a long winning streak, conference winning streak that Nebraska snapped on that day with Bill Jennings as the coach. Probably time for one more. Let's stay in Lincoln. Scott, you're up next here on Sports Nightly.
Yes, a couple callers before me was talking about the 1991 Nebraska-Oklahoma game. Myself, I was stationed over in Korea on active duty Army at the time. 15-hour time difference approximately. So it was 3:30 in the morning. I woke up to watch the game when everyone else had PT the next morning. Just sitting there and watching the end of that game, watching Calvin Jones as a freshman, I believe he was, score that game-winning touchdown right towards the end of the game. I know he went over 100 yards that game. Derek Brown also almost was at 100. So that was pretty much the beginning of the Weebacks there. So just brought up some great memories, and I like to see what you guys think.
Good. Scott, thank you. Appreciate you sharing that. It's been fun hearing all the stories, isn't it?
Yeah, it has been. And all the callers have been a different year, a different game, and have different memories. Like you said at the beginning, when we kind of started talking about the memories, it's everybody remembers where they were and why they were impacted so much by that game, but there were so many of them. The history is just so rich, and it's just going to be so neat to see it reignited on Saturday.
For 70-some straight years, they played every year, and then that got stopped in 1997 when the Big 12 came and went to divisional play for that. Well, that was fun. All right, coming up next hour, we'll have our Nebraska football show. Offensive coordinator, wide receivers coach Matt Lubick will be here, ready to take your calls, comments, questions as the Huskers get ready for their final non-conference game of the year, and that is the Sooner game coming up on Saturday. After this, it'll be all conference games beginning next week with Michigan State. So Coach Lubick will be in-house with us next hour. Buckle up, put that phone down. It's a reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. I am going to ask him about Samori. And I'm telling you, he's one of my favorite guys on this team now.
Yeah, you got to ask him about the story about his first touchdown.
I will.
That was funny.
I'm sure that's been. I'm sure they've had multiple discussions about his celebration after that first touchdown in Memorial Stadium. But it was a cool moment. A couple big plays for Samori last week in that win over Buffalo. So our football coach show coming up in the next hour. Come on back with us. Love to get those phone lines cranked up. Comments, questions for the coach. Come on back.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Shop with confidence at Woodhouse Buick GMC and find your next vehicle. Our knowledgeable sales team is eager to help you find a vehicle. Plus, get you on the road faster with our streamlined sales and buying process that you can start online. We have over 100 new Buick and GMC models with the features you want at a smart price. Visit our indoor showroom or shop online anytime at WoodhouseBuickGMC.com. Experience the difference and shop Woodhouse Buick GMC first.
Addie's Sports Bar and Grill is the place to watch Nebraska games this season. Locally owned and operated, Addie's is Omaha's premier sports bar with 4 locations in Elkhorn, Maple Street, Millard, and the new flagship Capitol location in downtown Omaha. If it's Husker game day, it's on at Addie's. Addie's Sports Bar and Grill is Omaha's official watch party spot with game day giveaways, prizes, fun, and more surprises later in the season. Addie's Sports Bar and Grill. See you there for the game.
Hey, Husker fans, if you're looking for an exciting new career as part of your pandemic recovery, Iowa has over 75,000 job openings in industries such as healthcare, advanced manufacturing, construction, IT, and ag. IowaWorks.gov has more information about job openings, earn while you learn apprenticeships, and exciting training and scholarship opportunities. Find your next great job in Iowa. They've got a solid game plan, a bright future, and want you on their team. www.iowaworks.gov.
Great job, everyone. Printers, great coverage. Phones, quick pickups. Firewall, tough defense. And network, way to carry the whole team. Ever since Marco started calling our technology plays, we work smarter and our whole game is more streamlined. Marco's all-star services and support give us the winning edge. Find out what your technology could be saying at marconet.com.
Live from Acres Broadcast Center inside East Stadium, this is the Nebraska Football Show. Sports Nightly is presented by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who reminds you to buckle up and put the phone down.
In motion is Betts. They turn, give it off to Xavier. He gets a block on the edge. 25, bounces outside 30, 35, 40, and finally knocked down. An ankle tackle at about the 41-yard line. And Treese now sends a man in motion. They turn, they flip it off to McDuffie, trying to race to the edge. Gets around JoJo Doma, but can't get around Nick Henrich. He'll go down. He'll lose 3 yards. Back to the 23-yard line. What a play by Nebraska.
All the Huskers, all the time. Here's your host, Greg Sharpe, on the Huskers Radio Network.
Thank you. Welcome to our weekly coaches show tonight. Delighted to have the offensive coordinator, wide receiver coach Matt Lubick with us for the next hour. If you want to be a part of the program with a call or a text, it's 402-413-2400. Also, we're up and streaming the show on our YouTube channel, and you can jump in the chat room and fire a question that way to get it off to Coach. Congratulations. Nice win on Saturday, and a play here, a play there, and you would have been in the 40-point range in that game on Saturday.
Thank you very much. Yeah, definitely things we can clean up and get better, but we're excited about the win and a lot of positives to build on.
There was, a tendency when you're getting points taken off the board to be kind of discouraged, but the guys kind of battled through that and kept kind of hanging in there, and finally you did open the game up a little bit.
Yeah, coaches, we get discouraged too, but it's a challenge. The biggest thing we tell our players, and we got to do the same thing as coaches, you play it one play at a time. And whether the result was a good result or the result was a bad result, you really got to focus on the next play to be successful. And we preach that every day. We try to practice that every day. But I know fans get frustrated. We get frustrated. But if you let that frustration carry over to the next play, you're not doing yourself any good. So it really is. I mean, something bad happens, you're on to the next play, and we rehearse that and practice that all the time.
Where do you see development from 3 weeks ago to now? What do you see?
The thing, our big theme this summer, because of what happened last year, was not beating ourselves. And not beating ourselves means not turning the ball over, not having penalties, and playing with great effort. That has nothing to do with the opponent. That's all that we can control. And so I thought after the Illinois game, where we did beat ourselves, we've taken steps in the right direction as far as the turnovers. And we still got too many penalties, but they've been cut drastically. And so that's been a good thing. And just executing in general has been better. It's not where it needs to be, and we can always be better, and that's always going to be the case whether we win or lose. But that has been better.
Hamstrung a little bit last week because some pretty good playmakers weren't available for you. That's tough, but that's when somebody else has to step up and go perform.
Yeah. It's unfortunate for the guys that want to be out there, and we want guys to be out there that weren't out there, but. At the end of the day, like you said, it's an opportunity for someone else, and some other guys stepped up, and we're grateful that we feel like we have a lot of depth, and we practice with a lot of depth, meaning we give the twos a lot of reps, and so they always know they're a play away, and we like to play a lot of guys. That's the other thing too, is I think we're able to play a lot more guys this year than we did last year, which helps you in situations when a guy goes down, and I've been happy with the way at different positions the way guys have stepped up and responded.
In our chat room, Mike wants to know what you have seen as far as consistency and route running from your guys.
Yeah, I mean, it's way better than last year for a couple of reasons. Number one, last year was a first year. We played a lot of young players. And even our older players were guys that just transferred in. And so just learning our offense and the repetition of doing the same route over and over and over again and the details of the route. Because the one thing about pass routes is you can draw them up on paper, but they change based on the look. You might have a defender inside, you might have a defender outside, and how do you change your route based on that? And talking about it is one thing, but actually doing it is when guys get better. So I think we've been a lot more detailed in our routes. Guys have a feel for, especially in zone, when to sit down, when not to sit down, being on the same page with the quarterback, that takes a ton of chemistry in the off season, and Adrian and our guys did a great job building that when we weren't around. And so I think it's better. It's definitely improved from last year, but there's always room for more improvement.
We talked to Samori last hour, interviewed him earlier in the week. How is that part of his game?
Yeah, I mean, he was the best player in 1AA receiver for a reason. He takes a lot of pride in the details of route running. He's very talented. He's gifted. He has great ball skills, great range. But that his strength is his route running. Great separation. knows how to set up a defender, has a great feel for leverage. Those are all things that we try to teach and drill. But he came with, which I could take credit for that stuff, but I can't. I mean, he came for, he was well coached, and he's developed really well since he's got here, just understand our system and how to use his skills in our system. But yeah, we're blessed to have him.
Mustrick in the chat room. How do you sell Nebraska to recruits when you have so many young players like a Gabe Irvin at running back and some of your offensive linemen? What do you tell? Because kids probably want to know, where do I fit in the pecking order?
Great question. We tell them all this. Whether we have a guy that's coming back as a starter, we're always going to give guys the opportunity to compete to play. And we never promise them a starting position, but we can promise them an opportunity to start. And what I mean by that is you're going to get reps with the 1s and 2s, and we're going to have a plan to get you caught up mentally. That's the biggest thing, is they could be the most talented guy in the world, they still have to know the plays. And so we're going to have a plan to get you caught up to speed, but then at the end of the day, it's up to you. And I always ask our players, I go, hey, who do you think determines who plays? They go, what do you mean? Do you think it's the coaches or do you think it's you? I mean, we want to play the best players. And so, they think about it for a while. They go, okay, I do have control of if I'm playing or not, by the way you practice and the way you perform. So, yeah, we just tell, the fact that we play young guys, that's actually a recruiting selling point. Because they can say, hey, wait a minute, I came in here and played. Wait, Samari wasn't here the year before. He comes in here and starts. So coaches are telling the truth. They will give you the opportunity. Now, opportunity is one thing. They still got playing times earned. And but we were pretty honest about it. I mean, here's where it is. We think you can help us, and you're going to get the opportunity. Like this guy had the opportunity. And, it's all about competition. And our players here know that, we're always trying to upgrade, and they want better players around them. So we're going to go out and try to find the best possible players we can possibly get. And they know that, just because I started last year doesn't mean I'm guaranteed to start the next year. I got to keep working at it to improve and get better, better, and better.
Xavier and Alante are two really young players in your room that are getting on the field some, and I know you're excited about their upside.
I am. And part of their issues has been health, but they're just starting to get healthy. They're healthy, and we feel good. They're definitely both progressing. It was good to see Xavier carry the ball in this last game, and then Alante with the big catch and making guys miss in the game before. And, I expect just more us and the fan base to see more and more of those guys make plays.
How are your true freshmen doing? I think did all three arrive in June, or was one of them here in the spring? I can't remember.
It was a crazy deal because they didn't have a trip here because of COVID.
Right.
So their first day they showed up was the day before we started fall camp.
How about that?
Yeah. So a challenge. So testament to those guys for sticking with us in the recruiting process, and they've been joys to have. I mean, great attitudes. They're not playing a lot right now, and we still haven't fully decided if we're going to have to play them. The good thing is we have a lot of depth, and we like the guys that we've got, the experience that we've got. So we don't want to waste a year on somebody just to play a few snaps a game. So it's a different situation as last year, where we had to play some young guys that probably weren't ready, but we just didn't have enough guys. So now that we have a lot more depth and a lot more guys with experience, it's letting those younger guys develop. They're helping us out with scout team and doing a great job making our defense better by competing every day and coming to work. I was really fired up today because I got my first grade report on all three of those guys, and they're all getting good grades. So that's a big sign in how guys are adjusting. And always have a smile on their face. You worry that first year on any position, any freshman is usually the hardest year because there's such new stuff. They're used to being the star, and they're used to, now they got to come, and there's a whole bunch of stars. They got to kind of find their way. What really, I love our culture here because our older players have really embraced our young guys, taking them under their wings, spending time with them off the field, helping them on the field. Some of our best coaching is not from us, it's our older players. And so I think they've really felt that. I think they've felt the family. I think they feel comfortable. I ask them every day, hey, are you homesick? How, checking with your parents, how's things going? And I've been very pleased with just how they've fit in with the culture.
Talking about Grimes, Hardy, and Neville are the three that you just brought into the program. In the past, you guys have used some Sunday scrimmages with the guys that aren't playing much. Are you doing that, or have you done that yet?
Yeah, we're going to get that going tomorrow. Yep. That's a big deal. The players, the older players have more fun than that than the younger players. They bet on who's going to be player of the game and take odds and all that stuff and get out there and cheer them on. We didn't do it the first couple weeks just because we didn't have enough healthy bodies as the young guys. But now we think we do. And so, yeah, tomorrow, I think our older guys are more excited to watch it than our younger guys. But they'll have fun. It'll be a good opportunity for those guys to go out and play football.
Well, and that's, instead of running a scout team thing, they get to probably run your guys' offense.
They run our offense, and it's live football. I mean, it's tackle. It's not thud. And so it's a live scrimmage. And the older guys get out there early and cheer them on. And there's a lot of energy when we get that going.
A couple questions in the chat room about what are you seeing right now in the running game? It has not been real consistent. That's the word Coach Frost has been using. He's looking for more consistency. What are you seeing in that?
Yeah, that's exactly it. You know, we need to be more consistent. There's flashes at times, and sometimes it's, you know, if 4 guys did the right thing, but the one guy that didn't cause the play to go nowhere. And so we just got to get all guys. And it's, you know, the offensive line, they're kind of the focal point of that, but it's everybody. You know, it's the running back having the right path. It's the receivers blocking on the perimeter. It's being able to throw the ball, so they have to actually play coverage. So, you know, it's the running game. Yeah, we need to get more consistent, but we need to get more consistent everywhere. And it all kind of builds upon each other. You know, if we can throw the ball better, we're going to be able to run the ball better. But we're going back to basics like we always do. When I say basics, we're, you know, blocking, leverage, you know, coming off the ball low, having our guys not think as much. We rehash that as coaches and think about how can we make things easy for our players so they don't have to think and play. That's a constant battle as a coach because you want to put in this play looks really good, but it's got to be something that your guys can understand and function and play at a high level with. So as coaches, we need to keep doing that, which we are working on, and then I think it'll keep improving.
How much has the run game maybe missed a guy like a Travis Vocaleck? And I'm sure you're anxious to get him back out on the field.
Sure. Well, Travis, that's, you know, he's such a weapon for us because he's very physical. You know, he's one of our more physical players, and he's also a good pass receiver. And he loves contact. One of the more physical tight ends I've been around. I've been lucky to be around, you know, five or six NFL guys, and he's right up there with them. And on a physicality, he might be the best. So there's no question, you know, having him in there helps us. But I've been happy with the other tight ends. You know, it's kind of the next man up, an opportunity for the other guy to come in. And, you know, Chris Hickman's done some really good things for us. And he was it's interesting. We moved him from wide out to tight end to wide out. Yeah. And he's had such a great attitude. So I just want to do what's best for the team. You know, and then Austin Allen's the consummate pro leader, will do whatever it takes to win, tough, you know, gives everything he's got. So we feel that position is a definite strength of our team. But having Travis will be a big deal. We get him healthy again. Yeah,
he just looks like a guy that could really maybe set the edge for you, block and cut down. Chancellor Brewington, tell me about that.
Oh yeah, and he's another guy. You know, is very fortunate. It's interesting in the last year, guys like, you know, Chancellor, guys like the other transfer we got, Oliver Martin, you know, and Levi Falk. I mean, Zamari. I mean, from the good players at 1AA schools who wanted to play at a little bit higher level have came in and just been great players for us. And they came in already, you know, knowing how to work. And that's another thing what's made Chance so good is he learned our system really fast, a lot like Samari, but has receiver ball skills. He was a receiver at his last school. And because of our, you know, the injuries at tight end, he has the size. We put him in there, and he doesn't back down. And he's really impressed us and surprised just how physical he can be. So, yeah, you're going to keep seeing more and more in him, and he's done some good things every time he gets in the game.
Those are the fun things, aren't they? Kind of surprise you a little bit. You're like, we liked him, but, man, he's better than we thought.
No, we always like those surprises.
Absolutely. Coach is with us till the top of the hour. Here's the numbers. You want to be a part of it either with a call or a text. 402-413-2400. That is our Sports Nightly hotline, brought to you by the Woodhouse Auto Family. Shop Woodhouse first. 18 brands, 16 convenient locations. Simplified car buying to save you time. Shop, finance, and buy it online at woodhouse.com. A lot more with the coach coming up.
If you're driven by an adventurous heart, you're in luck. The 2021 Subaru Outback shares your spirit. It will take you as far as you want to explore with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive. It'll get you off the beaten path with 8.7 inches of ground clearance, more than Toyota RAV4 or Honda Passport. It's the best Outback ever. The 2021 Subaru Outback. Go where love takes you. Comparison based on competitor information from manufacturer websites as of July 2020. Visit Beardmore Subaru in Bellevue or at beardmoresubaru.com.
Welcome to Ag Answers, where we answer common questions related to farming and ranching. Today we're tackling the issue of GMOs, or genetically modified organisms. GMOs may sound scary, but they're actually benefiting our environment and consumers. That's because GMO crops help solve specific problems like insects, food waste, and droughts. By selecting good traits from one plant or organism and adding them to another, farmers are safely using science to produce high-quality foods better than ever before. This message is brought to you by Nebraska's corn and soybean farmers.
You could win a 2021 Ford F-150 XL four-wheel drive Super Crew truck from the Woodhouse Auto family this season. If the Huskers return the first or second half opening kick for a touchdown, Woodhouse will give away an F-150. New contestants will be chosen each week. For details on how to enter the Woodhouse Auto Family Kickoff Contest and official rules, go to woodhousekickoff.com. That's woodhousekickoff.com.
Want to get all the latest Husker news straight to your phone? Need to be the first of your friends to get the scoop on all things Huskers? Sign up for text alerts from Nebraska Athletics. Text Huskers to 83200 to get game time notifications and updates, breaking news, special ticket offers, and more straight to your phone. All the Husker news is just a quick text away. Just text Huskers to 83200. Standard text messaging rates apply and may vary by carrier.
The Nebraska FFA is growing leaders
and building communities.
Together, we are strengthening agriculture.
The Nebraska FFA Foundation believes in our future leaders and the communities they serve. We believe in the future of agriculture.
Join us in the I Believe in the Future of Ag campaign. Learn more at neffafoundation.org. Brought to you by Aurora Cooperative. Tougher together, Aurora and you. And Frontier Cooperative.
Preparation. It's the key to success on game day. And like your favorite Huskers on the field, you need to be ready right from the opening kickoff. Cenex has your pre-game routine covered. We've got your salty snacks, your sweet treats, ice-cold beverages to wash them down, and fresh tanks of propane to fire up the grill. Fuel your fandom at your local Cenex station. Husker Pride, powered locally.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
It's Game On at Sid Dillon Buick GMC Cadillac in Fremont, featuring our winning combination of Buick SUVs and GMC trucks and SUVs. And as a GMC Business Elite dealer, we offer commercial vehicles for your business needs. For the convenient and easy way to shop for your next vehicle, just visit our Fremont location or check out our full inventory at SidDillonBuickGMC.com.
You are what drives us, Sid Dillon.
We are professional grade.
Did you know that cigarette butts make up a large portion of microplastics in the ocean, which end up in 70% of seabirds and 30% of sea turtles? Bank of the West is helping to solve this problem by not financing big tobacco, proving that what a bank chooses not to finance can be just as important as what it does. Learn more about what we do and don't finance at bankofthewest.com/change. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Here we go again. The celebrating, the accolades. Ever since we added Marco to our team, our technology can't lose. Day after day, success after success, Marco's made our business IT a force to be reckoned with. The only drawback of being technology all-stars is keeping champagne away from the electronics. Find out what your technology could be saying at marconet.com.
Hey, Husker fans, if you're looking for an exciting new career as part of your pandemic recovery, Iowa has over 75,000 job openings in industries such as healthcare, advanced manufacturing, construction, IT, and ag. IowaWorks.gov has more information about job openings, earn while you learn apprenticeships, and exciting training and scholarship opportunities. Find your next great job in Iowa. They've got a solid game plan, a bright future, and want you on their team. www.iowaworks.gov. Celebrating 50 years in the commercial real estate development industry in Omaha and nationwide, Noddle Companies is proud to continue its tradition of supporting Husker athletics. Check out what's new in Omaha, which includes revolving recreation and the food hall at Zone 6 in Exarban Village. Another exciting project coming soon are the Blackstone Urban Row townhomes. Noddle Companies, creating long-term value through community development. For more information, visit noddlecompanies.com. Go Big Red.
Addie's Sports Bar and Grill is the place to watch Nebraska games this season. Locally owned and operated, Addie's is Omaha's premier sports bar with 4 locations in Elkhorn, Maple Street, Millard, and the new flagship Capitol location in downtown Omaha. If it's Husker game day, it's on at Addie's. Addie's Sports Bar and Grill is Omaha's official watch party spot with game day giveaways, prizes, fun, and more surprises later in the season. Addie's Sports Bar and Grill. See you there for the game.
Buckle up, put that phone down. It's a reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office, our football coaches show for the week. Offensive coordinator, wide receivers coach Matt Lubick with us until the top of the hour. Huskers getting ready for their final non-conference game of the year, the Oklahoma Sooners on Saturday. Here are the numbers if you want to be a part of it. 402-413-2400. You can call or text. We're also up on our YouTube stream. You can fire out questions in there as well. Let's go to the phones. Richard in Lincoln, you're up next with the coach. Good evening, Richard.
Good evening. I'm going to give away my age because I played high school football, and the dominant formation when I was playing high school football was something called the single wing. And in that formation, you had both tackles on the same side of the center, and you had either a wing right or a wing left. And that seemed to work fairly well. It made for some good power running, and then you could pop a surprise pass out of that formation. I'm wondering if Nebraska would incorporate a couple of single wing plays in the game plan for a given game if the other team would be taken by surprise and have difficulty adjusting to defend that.
Yeah, I mean, we're always open up for suggestions. I need to see some of that video. But I know, because there's different versions of the single wing, and I know it's been successful. I don't know if, like last game, if you noticed, we lined up in a decent amount of wing sets. And wing sets are hard for a defense, especially if you can pass out of them, because sometimes the linebacker or the DB doesn't know where to fit. And we can put our 2 best blockers there. And so we actually did a little bit of that. I don't know to that extent that you're talking about, but we're always looking for, a little niche here and there that might add to our offense, but at the same time, something that fits with what we do. But the wing T and some of the stuff that we do, there's a lot of similarities. The biggest difference, I think, that we do is that we're a little more multiple, where we can still spread out. Because the one thing it's hard to do in the wing is throw the ball consistently, drop back and throw it, just because you just don't have a lot of space. Play action is good, like you said. You can trick them if they think it's a run formation. You can trick them and sneak one on them. But yeah, we're always open for suggestions, and it might be a little too late to put a wing T in for this week's game. We've been practicing our game plan for the last week and a half in the summer, but we're always open in the off season. But I'd be curious by the end of the year if you really look at some of the stuff that we do, if you see some similarities.
I would imagine so, and also, what you could do out of that single wing was, obviously, everybody is thinking, on the defense is thinking they're going to go right because they're winging to the right. And sometimes you could break some nice counter plays, run to the weak side off the single wing.
Well, that's a great point. And it's funny, and that's kind of what I do every Monday, too, is I look at the sets that we ran the ball out of the week before, which could be, like you said, a wing set, and making sure that we're not giving away tendencies, that we have the ability to run to the wing, which gives you an extra blocker, but to also run away from it, because defenses are looking at the same thing. So there's no question that sometimes, you give the illusion like a counter where you're running one way but going the other, and we self-scout ourselves every week to make sure that we're not giving away tendencies. And a great example is what you just said as far as running to the wing all the time.
Richard, appreciate it. Thank you for the phone
Yeah,
call.
great question.
What's the first offense you kind of became a fan of growing up? Do you remember?
The first offense I became a fan of growing up. I don't know. I was a Nebraska fan growing up, and Tom Osborne was kind of a run-first offense. I think the offense that scores the most points. I like the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
When I was a little kid, that's when they had Tom Landry, and I was excited just the way they could throw the football, and Roger Staubach, and so that was a little kid. I pretended I used to be Roger Staubach or Drew Pearson and run around the backyard and catching balls. So that was probably the first really thing that I used to have dreams about, and the way they could run it and throw it, not understanding balance or anything of touchdown passes. But that was probably the first. And I started out as a defensive coach. Wow. I don't think people know that I was a defensive back coach. My very first job, I was a defensive back coach actually with Coach Erickson at Arizona State for a couple of years, and so I like coaching defense, but at the same time, I think the defensive stuff has really helped me as an offensive coach, just to know how different plays affect defenses. And it was funny when I was a defensive coach, I would teach offense. This is what the offense is trying to do. I teach our defensive players. Now that I'm an offensive coach, I'm trying to attack defenses and teach our players this is what a defense is trying to do. So there's a lot of carryover, when you've coached on both sides of the ball.
Talking about balance, the Fordham game, the Huskers had over 300 both on the ground and in the air. That's really rare to do that, but you have to sit back and go, perfect. That's exactly what.
Yeah, if we can do that every game, we'll be in good shape. But that's what we strive for. You don't want to be one-dimensional, where a team knows, hey, we're running the ball every play. At the same time, if you can run the ball every play and get positive yards, then we're going to do it. But it does when you can throw the ball. And we have a quarterback that can do both. But when you can throw the ball well, it really helps the running game, and vice versa. When you can run the ball well, that happened in the last game. They were at the end of the game. We wanted to take some time off the clock and kind of grind it out, but they were putting everyone in the box. So we kind of had to throw it, and you saw the big plays as a result of that. Because they can always bring one extra guy in the box that maybe you can't block, and they were challenged to say they're dead earners to throw it. And so when teams do that, you got to be able to do that, and we hit that in the last game, the second half.
You've been able to play Logan the last two games at quarterback. Sure. What have your evaluations of him been?
Really good. The pass he made when he came in cold and we ran that naked, and we were just trying to run the naked just to throw a little check down and get a first down and grind the clock, and then he launched that deep ball and he couldn't have thrown a better ball on the run. So that was really impressive. Just to go in there with when you come off cold and you go into a big stadium, regardless of what the circumstance is, and to show poise like that was really impressive. And I thought he did a really good job in the Fordham game when he came in and drove us down the field, and did a good and showed a lot of poise. So yeah, very excited to see him what he's done and watch him keep progressing.
Great to get opportunities too to get him into some games. Text for you here after the second touchdown reception for Samore. He goes, I noticed he was detained in the end zone by one of the referees. They had a long conversation. Any idea what that was about? Was he over-celebrating too much?
I don't. We had already a celebration lecture talk, so I don't know what that one was about. Maybe the ref was telling him something, or maybe the ref was giving him a high five or congratulating him.
Could be.
Who knows?
Could be.
Yeah.
I told you earlier. I said find more of him. I like that.
Yeah,
young guy.
He's special.
You haven't settled on one running back yet. You've rotated the three, and at times all three have had really good moments.
Sure.
How do you feel about that position?
Yeah, I feel good about it. We think we have four guys that can run the football. You'd like to have one guy that completely separates himself. That has not really happened yet. Not throwing anyone under the bus because they've all played well at times. But you'd like to see one guy. Hey, this is the drive to win the game. Who's that guy? Now we think we got four guys that can do that. Like I thought 2 games ago, where Step really took a step forward, just breaking tackles and some physical runs, and in this game, I thought Gabe did a great job, and then Ramir came in and did some good things, and so it's just as a coach, you can't have enough running backs because that position takes the most punishment out of any position on the football team, and so I'm happy with the way they've been progressing. They've shown some things too, as far as just picking up pass protections that the fans don't see, that they've done a great job of, which has helped us throw the football. And we got to keep getting them the ball in good situations too. The first game I felt bad because I think there were some times where there wasn't a lot of space to run the football, And I think we've done a good job. The offensive line's done a better job of creating some holes. And I think as coaches, hopefully we've done a better job of, creating some plays that give those guys some space where we can actually see their talent and watch them run the football.
Question from the chat room on Adrian's long run. Was his decision to slide through the blitzer and move on, or could he have checked to something else? What about that play that ended up in the 70-yard run by Adrian?
Yeah, in which game? Illinois, this past game?
Buffalo.
Yeah, the Buffalo game. That was just a great play. Some of our pass concepts are designed to, utilize the field and spread the defense out. And I think he kind of felt that, hey, everyone was covered. And he does a great job in the pocket of all of a sudden, a guy's in his face. He doesn't panic, but he does a great job of knowing when to run the football. And that was one of those situations. And then, he has that God-given speed and just effort to get him in the end zone, which was fun to watch.
Yeah, I'm sure he got kidded because he didn't quite make it to the end zone.
Oh, yeah. But he was close enough. He was close enough for us to get it in. I'm with you.
Amazing. Hey, Dorothy Lynch, home style and light and lean dressing. Endless flavorabilities. Phone lines are open for you, 402-413-2400. That works with a call or a text. Back with more with the coach coming up.
From vintage sneakers to bacon-scented soap to water fountains for your pet, all can be had with a few simple clicks. Problem is, you never really know what you're going to get until they show up at your door. Introducing Ford Blue Advantage. It's used car buying that's built for you. Not only can you shop for used vehicles online, in person, or both, you can also test drive before you buy, so you know exactly what you're getting. Plus, get history reports, vehicle inspections, Ford warranties, and the expertise of factory-trained techs. Visit FordBlueAdvantage.com today.
Welcome to Ag Answers, where we answer common questions related to farming and ranching. Today's topic, animal agriculture. There's been a lot of talk suggesting that giving up meat is good for the environment. However, livestock emissions only account for less than 4% of greenhouse gas emissions, according to the Environmental Protection Agency. Also, by reducing meat in your diet, you're missing out on all sorts of beneficial nutrients like protein, iron, and zinc. This message is brought to you by Nebraska's corn and soybean farmers.
Whether you compete on the court, at the track, on the field, or in the fields, winning isn't just a goal. It's a mindset, shaped, honed, and defined throughout the season. That's why farmers pushing themselves to be the best plant DeKalb brand corn. Wherever you compete, winning has roots. Perform at your best with DeKalb. Always read and follow grain marketing and all other stewardship practices and pesticide label directions.
What is highbid.com? It's the online auction site for just about everything under the sun. Art and antiques, cars and coins, office equipment and furniture, toys and tools. You can find it all at highbid.com. Highbid.com gives you access to thousands of auctions across the USA and around the world. Browse the most popular auctions, search for the exact item you want, or just explore the site. Go to highbid.com. That's HIBID.com and find what you're looking for today.
The game isn't just about winning or losing. It's about the snacks they share after they've used up all their energy in the field. It's the early morning practice before school and staying late after to get a couple more kicks in. It's the pride they feel for their team and the determination to always keep improving. Sure, the game isn't always about winning or losing, but when they've won the big game and celebration is in full swing, there's only one thing left for you to do. Get them home safe. Buckle up and back. Paid for by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
You trained for this all year. Endless hours of cardio, conditioning, and weights. And now you are ready. Ready to trek back to your seat from the concession stand. Through the lines, lost fans, and that mascot who wants you to do a little dancey dance, all without spilling a drop of your ice-cold Bud Light. Welcome back to football, sports fans.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Score a game-winning drive when you buy your next vehicle at Sid Dillon Chevrolet. As a Chevrolet Business Elite dealer, we offer commercial vehicles, including medium-duty trucks and low-cab forwards. Whatever vehicle fits your needs, we're here to make the purchase process easy. Visit our Chevy locations in Blair, Crete, Fremont, or Wahoo. Plus, shop our full inventory at SidDillonChevy.com.
You are what drives us. Sid Dillon.
Chevy, find new roads.
Did you ever buy something and get more? More than you expected? Emeritus offers insurance, employee benefits, and financial services. But we deliver so much more. The comfort of a human voice when you need it. The confidence of flashing a beautiful smile. The relief that your family can keep living the life they love. The serenity of knowing you've planned well and can enjoy life. That's what we really deliver. We call it fulfilling life. Emeritus. Insurance, employee benefits, financial services, and much more.
You live in a smart home powered by Cox Internet, so you're not thinking about the pizza delivery. You're thinking how nice it is to get everyone together for a fun night. You're not thinking about the pizza, maybe just a little.
Cox Home Life. Show me the front porch camera.
Pizza!
View your Cox Home Life cameras right from your TV using your Contour voice remote. Visit cox.com/thisishome to learn more.
Advertised features require subscription to Cox Internet and Contour TV. A high-speed internet connection is required. Home Life Security Services subject to Home Life Security Service Agreement. Cox Home Life Services provided by Cox licensed entities. See cox.com/licenses.
You already got the hat, the jersey, maybe even the occasional red and white face paint. So kick things off right this season and add the FNBO Husker Visa debit card to the list. Pay loud and proud for every Husker decal, t-shirt, or hot dog at the game. Wear your heart on your sleeve and in your wallet with the Husker Visa debit card, free with any checking account from FNBO, the bank of Husker Nation. Get yours today at fnbo.com/Huskers. Member FDIC.
Celebrating 50 years in the commercial real estate development industry in Omaha and nationwide, Noddle Companies is proud to continue its tradition of supporting Husker athletics. Check out what's new in Omaha, which includes revolving recreation and the food hall at Zone 6 in Exarban Village. Another exciting project coming soon are the Blackstone Urban Row townhomes. Noddle Companies, creating long-term value through community development. For more information, visit noddlecompanies.com. Go Big Red.
You trained for this all year. Endless hours of cardio, conditioning, and weights. And now you are ready. Ready to trek back to your seat from the concession stand. Through the lines, lost fans, and that mascot who wants you to do a little dancey dance. All without spilling a drop of your ice-cold Bud Light. Welcome back to football, sports fans.
Nebraska 811 says, go dig red. Before you dig, always call or click 811 to have your utility lines marked. It's free, it's easy, and it's the law. Greg Sharpe back with you. It's our Nebraska Football Hour. Offensive coordinator, wide receivers coach Matt Lubick with us until the top of the hour. If you want to be a part of it with a call or a text, 402-413-2400. Let's talk about Oklahoma. In fact, Al on our text line wants to know what's one thing you think you can exploit against this Oklahoma team on Saturday.
That's a tough question.
Without giving away the game plan.
Giving away secrets and game plan. They're obviously very talented. There's a reason they're ranked the way they are. They do a great job putting pressure on the quarterback. They do a really good job creating negative plays, which we can't have. And that's one thing that we got to minimize is we can't give up negative plays. We can't turn the ball over. They create a lot of turnovers against Tulane, which really churned that game early. And so, that's one thing as far as we went talking earlier is we can't beat ourselves. If we don't turn the ball over, if we eliminate penalties and just execute our game plan, I feel good about what's going to happen. But yeah, it's without giving away secrets, it's a challenge because they're very talented and they're well coached.
Back to our text line, Curtis in West Point. Coach, how can the wide receivers work on being better at the rub routes so that they don't get called for penalties?
That is a great question because we hate penalties and we don't really teach rub routes because they create penalties. It's something that's, it's hurt us in 2 games in a row. It's something we talk about every day about how you can't. I mean, sometimes we'll have routes where receivers are next to each other and they're running by each other and crossing patterns, and it gives the quarterback a progression. But the intent's not to pick somebody. The intent is to run away from somebody, and sometimes crossing routes is where contact happens. And as a matter of fact, both ones that were called were crossing routes. The one in the Illinois game, the defender kind of ran into our guy, and our guy slowed down. That's the thing you can't do. If you slow down and you stop running your route, that's when you get called for a rub. And so I could see, I didn't agree with the call, but I could see how that one got called. This last call, in this last game that cost Samari his touchdown, we sent that one in. I mean, we watched it on tape, and it's hard to find out what happened. I mean, our guys, it was just a crossing route pattern, and one of the guys, his job is to get to the middle of the field. The linebacker grabbed him, and they called him. They called the guy, and he was just trying to get to his spot. He was trying to get over the ball, and the linebacker grabbed him, and that's what that guy they called. So, yeah, I'm still trying to figure that one out. But yeah, because it's obviously getting called when they think you're trying to rub a defender. It's getting called, and so we practice it all the time. We have officials at our practice every day that throw flags if they see stuff like that, and we haven't had a lot of that in practice. So, I mean, to answer your question, we talk about it. We have officials in practice every day, and we try to, develop concepts or call pass concepts that where that's not going to happen.
I don't want to get you in trouble. I'm with you. I didn't see it either on the penalty that took the touchdown off. To me, it looked like a blown coverage for Buffalo, and they reward a blown coverage with a penalty that pushed us out of scoring range.
It's hard to figure.
So,
I mean, the guy pops wide open,
yeah.
so maybe, but yeah, I don't know.
What did you see on the option pitch? It looked to me like, if anything, it was maybe straight down the line on the pitch.
We saw the same thing. That was such a, it's a fine line.
Yeah.
It's such a fine line, and we do that in practice all the time. We've done it in other games, which probably even where I thought maybe that could be called. So that I didn't agree obviously with that call either, but it's called, and so you go back and you rehearse and you practice and practice and practice to make sure you don't even make it close, whatever the situation is, whether it's you're blocking somebody, your hands are inside. Don't even give those guys an opportunity to call the penalty. A lot of penalties too, pre-snap penalties. I was really worried about going into the season with some new guys. Is don't even make it close with the official. Check every single time. Because at the end of the day, the official, I do. Sometimes I disagree with calls, but officials, they're not out there to hurt you. They're not out there to go and say, hey, we want to call a penalty every play. But if they think something, they're gonna throw it, and so we just can't give them the opportunity to throw a flag and don't even make it close.
Earlier today was the Team Jack Radiothon. A bunch of our affiliates carry that to raise money for pediatric brain cancer. The Husker football team helps organize a road race in the summer. I think you ran in that. Did you not run in that race in June?
I did. Yeah, that was a fun time. Great cause.
What'd you clock?
I think I broke 19.
Did you?
Yeah, it was it was interesting because I didn't know if I could run in it because we had recruits in that weekend.
Right.
And someone said there was a race the next day, and we were out.
Did you do the 5K part?
I did
of
the
it?
5K part. Yeah. So yeah, I think it was 1850 something. But anyway, it was fun. It was fun to see all our players out there having fun with it. It was really the cause, and so that gave me a little extra motivation. And I love to run, and that's something I love to continue to do because that was a neat experience. And for and the speech that Jack's mom gave before the game was a tearjerker and very motivational. That was just made that whole thing a special day.
Do you run every day?
I try to. It's a little tougher during the season.
Yeah.
I can run in between plays though, every once in a while. I try to run in between plays.
Well, I see you take off after practice.
I'll take off for practice. Yeah, I figure if I'm not going to have time to work out, I can get it in, or I'll run to lunch and I'll run my lunch back, and I try to stay on the move because I like it. It gives me a sense of peace, and it's just kind of a big stress reliever for me. 5K the most you've run, or have you done a half, or have you done? I have, yeah, but I'm more of a 5K is kind of right my wheelhouse.
Well, yeah, it's probably all the time.
That's
you
all
have to train
time.
for
Yeah, I
that.
go on and do something else after that.
Yeah, because
right.
if you do a half, you really got to train.
You got to train, even the marathons. That takes a big toll on your body. It's fun and it's rewarding and all that. But it's just it's a big commitment.
You always been a runner?
Not really. I picked it up really when I started coaching. My dad was a runner, and I'd go out and jog around with him, and it was kind of a fun time to hang out with him. And then I just figured, hey, then I started feeling better when I started doing it. And what I've found, it really clears my mind. So our busiest days are Sundays and Mondays, where we it's early 6 a.m. till 11 p.m. at night or midnight or whatever. And what I've found is that this is better than coffee, because I drink way too much coffee, is if I go and take a little 5-minute break and just go run around the stadium or go do some wind sprints, I feel way better, and I just think better, and I can process things better. And so a lot of it's just for mental health. And I think as a coach, I think anybody could use something that can help their mental health. But as a coach, when you're trying to make decisions, especially late at night, and just doing a lot of different things, you need something to help you catch up on just balance and refresh you.
Cool. That came from Nick in Omaha. I wanted to ask that question about how much running you've been doing.
Thanks, Nick.
All right, 402-413-2400. We need to take a break. That's the number if you want to jump in with a call or a text. We're back to wrap it up with Coach next.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
The name on the mailbox may say Smith, Myers, Baumgartner, or Johnson, but when you choose to plant with Rob Seco, it includes your name too, making you a stockholder in a company that's invested in you. With the simplicity that makes us easy to do business with, relationships that bring more to the table, the technology, traits, and genetics that take on local conditions, and people with the know-how to use it. At Rob Seco, the only stockholder we listen to is you.
Double espresso for Matt, large ice mocha for Greg, $2,022 for Katie. Oh, oops.
Everybody's mind is on the Nebraska Lottery's Powerball's Rockin' 15 promotion. Until September 25th, buy a Powerball with Power Play ticket and enter for a chance to be one of 15 to win $2,022 and a chance to win $1 million.
Sorry for the mix-up, Katie. Here's your latte.
Forget the coffee. Where's my $2,022?
Powerball top prize odds 1 in 292 million.
Valentino's handcrafted pizza has been a Husker fan favorite for generations, with tradition baked into every pizza. And now, Valentino's Pizza, Poster, and Pepsi is back. Get 2 jumbo one-topping pizzas for $17.79 each when you buy 2 and a free Husker football schedule poster. Add a 2-liter of Pepsi for only $1.99. Place your order for carry-out, curbside pickup, or delivery at valentinos.com. Valentino's, proud to be the official pizza of the Huskers. Go Big Red.
Valley 365 is here, and the time is now to take your farming technology full circle. Valley 365 is the ultimate command center, the new single sign-on platform that brings together our tried and true technology and streamlines your entire operation. Combining the best features of AgSense, Valley Scheduling, Valley VRI, and Valley Insights, Valley 365 is the next-level solution for connected crop management. Leverage your data, make the most of your time, and own your tomorrow. Contact your Valley dealer today.
Addie's Sports Bar and Grill is the place to watch Nebraska games this season. Locally owned and operated, Addie's is Omaha's premier sports bar with 4 locations in Elkhorn, Maple Street, Millard, and the new flagship Capitol location in downtown Omaha. If it's Husker game day, it's on at Addie's. Addie's Sports Bar and Grill is Omaha's official watch party spot, with game day giveaways, prizes, fun, and more surprises later in the season. Addie's Sports Bar and Grill. See you there for the game.
Whew. Sometimes being an office printer feels like I'm competing in an Olympic sport. Thankfully, I have Marco's Managed Print Services on my team. Marco's game plan helps me make big plays while saving big bucks. And Marco's lightning fast tech support gets me back in the game fast. Whew. I'm up. Find out what your printers could be saying with Marco's Managed Print Services at marconet.com.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres Equipment, Nebraska's premier John Deere dealer with 27 locations across Nebraska and into Kansas. Acres solutions for every field. Back with a few minutes with Husker offensive coordinator, wide receivers coach Matt Lubick. Text question for you from Mark. Is Adrian allowed to audible?
Yes, he is. Yeah, he is. He does a good job of that. He's able to go up and make decisions, and if we're in a play that's not a good play because of what the defense is doing, he can get us out of it.
Kind of a similar question. This is Shane in Norfolk. On your base run plays where Adrian's handing off to the backs up the middle, does he have the option to pull that ball and run it, because it seems like all the teams are crashing on those backs?
Yeah, that's a really good question. Our offense has a lot of reads, and based on what the defense does, like we'll call a design run to the tailback, but if the defense does something, a great example of crashing in on a zone read, he has the ability to pull it. Sometimes he can pull it and run it, sometimes he can pull it and throw it.
Heading to Missouri for the next text for you. This is Jerry. Are you going to continue to expand the use of the triple option?
That depends. You know, you never know. We like to, if something's working, we like to reuse it. And it's been good to us, you know, and the big reason is because of because of our quarterback and the guys carrying it out too. I mean, that's a big, and the offensive line's got all those triple option plays. Everyone sees kind of the quarterback and the pitch guy, but it starts up front. I mean, if you're not getting any movement up front, those option plays don't work too. So it's kind of a combination. But yeah, if something's working, we'll stick with it. But at the same time, we want to have the ability to do other things as well.
Man, a lot of questions on the run game. Here's another one for you. What formation do you feel like best establishes the run game?
That is a really good question. It's interesting. You want to have the ability to run different formations on getting numbers, the more blockers you have, and getting your best blockers at the point of attack. And also studying, there's a whole bunch of things that go into that, studying what the defense is going to do and what you think they're going to do. And also something that gives you the flexibility, no matter what they do, you still feel good about. So that's a big part of it. You know, we have the ability to be in open sets with wideouts and spread the ball out if guys are going to go out and play coverage. But we also have the ability to get in tight sets and run and throw the ball. So I think the more sets that you can run the ball out of, I think it helps you. So a defense just can't lock in and say, hey, this is a run set, or hey, we're going to put an extra guy here. To give you one specific set, I don't know. You know, I like running to a tight end, but you have to have the ability to wait just because, you know, you have an extra blocker. And so I always thought, and no matter, and it protects you too from like edge pressure. But that's a hard question to answer because it really depends on what the defense is doing and then who are your best players. You know, who are the best players at the point of attack? Because that's a big part of football. It's not always, you know, the plays. It's kind of the players and putting them in the best position. And I think sometimes I always catch myself on this is try to think players, not plays always, and where our guys have the best chance to succeed. And so there's a whole bunch of things that go into that question, even though it's a good one.
Another running question. This comes from Steve in Bellevue. Coach, you said you're a Dallas fan. I am as well. Back in the day that you were talking about, they always had a fullback in front of the tailback. Any plans of implementing a fullback in our run game?
Oh, yeah. No, hey, I'm with you.
Or some of those
yep, I'm with you. I don't know if did you notice the time in this last game where we actually brought in the DT? Yeah, DeAndre as a fullback. Woo. And we scored a touchdown. So it's a pretty good ratio. We were talking to DT the other day. I go, one play and we score a touchdown. We got to do that more. You know, sometimes, even though we don't label him as a fullback, sometimes our tight ends act like fullbacks. They do some of the same fullback responsibilities, whether it's, you know, coming around on a counter, same thing a fullback would do, or lead blocking, or going away from the run. So we kind of do use a fullback sometimes, but the thing that's different in the old days, or I wouldn't say it's old days, but the fullback was he's a lead blocker. What we like to have with our fullbacks, which are / tight ends, is to do a lot of things with them, where they can actually split out and we can run routes with them, where they can, you know, be either play side or away from the play and still block. And so our tight ends actually have a lot of the same responsibilities a fullback did back in the day.
Very good. All right, final, just about, we got about a minute left in the show. This will be a challenge, but a great opportunity, right, to go play a really good football. This is why you come to places like Nebraska to play.
No question. Like our guys are fired up. I mean, every game you can't change your preparation based on who your opponent. I mean, you try to win every game. That's part of football. You try to coach that way. I mean, every Sunday and Monday, I'm going to give it my best as a coach, and all through the week, and same with the players. But this is something special because of not just because they're a good football team, but because of the history, the nostalgia, and we know it means a lot to a lot of different people. And it's an opportunity to play in a great stadium, which is a great environment in front of a lot of people on national TV, and be the game of the day. And so our guys are embracing that.
Good luck. Let's have some fun.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
Matt Lubick with us, Husker offensive coordinator, wide receivers coach, Huskers and Sooners. 11 o'clock on Saturday at 7 a.m. for pregame coverage here on the network. That'll do it. Thanks to Jessica, to Mike, to Andrew, and to Tim. Have a great night.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Woohoo! Business Technology 1, network downtime 0. Being a game-winning IT network takes hard work and an experienced technology coach. That's why our game plan includes Marco. Marco helps our entire business infrastructure perform better and score big day in and day out. With Marco's veteran experience guiding our team, every season is a winning season. Find out what your technology could be saying at marconet.com.
It's football season. Husker Nation and Famous Dave's is here to make your tailgate, house party, or get-together famous. Award-winning and house-smoked St. Louis-style ribs, Texas beef brisket, Georgia chopped pork, and house-made sides like our Wilbur beans, creamy coleslaw, and Dave's cheesy mac and cheese will surely tackle any barbecue craving. Visit famousdaves.com for all your catering and online ordering needs, or come visit us at our locations in Lincoln and Bellevue.
Did you know that cigarette butts make up a large portion of microplastics in the ocean, which end up in 70% of seabirds and 30% of sea turtles? Bank of the West is helping to solve this problem by not financing big tobacco, proving that what a bank chooses not to finance can be just as important as what it does. Learn more about what we do and don't finance at bankofthewest.com/change. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
If you're driven by an adventurous heart, you're in luck. The 2021 Subaru Outback shares your spirit. It will take you as far as you want to explore with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive. It'll get you off the beaten path with 8.7 inches of ground clearance, more than Toyota RAV4 or Honda Passport. It's the best Outback ever. The 2021 Subaru Outback. Go where love takes you. Comparison based on competitor information from manufacturer websites as of July 2020. Visit Beardmore Subaru in Bellevue or at beardmoresubaru.com.